Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to be rebuilding this rear end. If you guys want to watch as I go along here, you can see how it's done. So first we got to get this brake caliper off. Gotta spread this caliper apart a little bit. Okay. There we go. Then we gotta get the brake rotor off. Alright, so the center pin, probably should have done this before. Actually, what I'm going to do, since I don't really have to get the brake rotor off, go ahead and slide it on out, because it looks like the center pin is going to fall out. There we go. Now I have to fish those out. So there's a C-clip in here that I have to get out, wherever it went. There it is. So it fell out as I was smacking the rotor. We're going to organize everything side to side. And then next what I do is I'm going to mark the differential. That way you can tell which side it goes on. So let me grab my other camera because I am recording for a longer video. All right. So you don't get your bearing caps mixed up, I like to mark where they're going to go. There we go. Now we know where the bearing caps go. Now, measure 19s. There we go. Take these out. set them to the according side. And also, by marking your bearing caps on the outside, you know not to flip them. So, bearing cap. Now what we gotta do is pull the whole differential out. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. Sometimes they will just come right out. Other times they won't. This one's not wanting to come right out, so you might have to run a rag in there and spin it around. So, what you can do to help get the differential out is pack a rag in there and then spin it, and that's going to help pop that differential or the carrier out. There we go. So, we're going to turn the pinion over to the other side. And that's going to help walk it out. There we go. Now, might have to add a couple more rags in there because it did not work with those two. So, get another rag, add a third one, and we're going to do the same thing. There we go. There it goes. Alright, so that is the trick to getting a stubborn carrier out. Now, it might just come up now. We will see. Nope, still having a little trouble. So, we will try it one more time. But I need to rag my hands off of it. Try this method one more time. Now the rags don't want to go in there. Let's see if we can not lose a finger. Okay. Try and jam those rags in between the carrier and the pinion. Boy, it does not want to come out of there. All right, so back to the problem. There it is. It's starting to come out of there. There it is. See the shims? Everything's starting to come out. There we go. Now, we want to try and pull this guy out. That thing is stiff. There it is. So, we want to try and grab the shims and the bearing and everything one time. Like that. That's how you pull everything out. There we go. So, you got shim and a bearing, or bearing race, shim and a bearing race. And that's how you do it. Now, the only thing that's left to get out of there is the pinion gear. And since that was the suspected culprit, the bearings, we can probably hear the noise now. Yeah, it does not feel good. So for you guys watching the live stream, you can see that these bearings are not that bad, but that pinion gear, those are the bad bearings, ones that are inside of there. So now we got to get that out. There we go. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is take all this, put it over on my work table so nothing gets mismatched. All right, time to get a little greasy. All right, now the fun part is getting the pinion gear out of there. It's always the most tedious part of this whole job. So I'm going to reposition you guys here in a minute. But if you guys want to watch from this side, you'll be able to see me actually knock the pinion gear through the differential. Oh, sorry guys, I don't have the best internet here, so yeah, the quality might not be the best. but I'll try not to move around because that kind of makes it worse. So I'll leave you guys where you're at. All right, so mark pinion gear, mark the flange. There we go. So you can see I marked the pinion gear and the flange. Now I gotta get this nut off. Let's try and get some more light here. There we go. All right. There we go. Nut is off. Now I gotta pull this guy out. In order to get that guy loose, I'm gonna have to put a puller on here. So we're gonna do that next. All right, guys, I'll move you all over here so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I got the nut off the pinion. And now I gotta get a puller and pull it out. All right. So I got my puller set here. I run this guy through. Like that. Now, if I have the right bolts, I'll just run these in, but if not, I'll reuse. Okay, so since I don't, we're gonna reuse. Ooh, that's not gonna work. All right. So looks like I'm gonna have to use some different bolts and run some nuts on. Yeah, these are all too small. We got 10x1.5s. We can run 2 of those like that, pull it off, but I gotta get a couple nuts. Ooh, and maybe even some longer bolts. So, give me a minute, guys. And we can probably use these 3/8 by 16. Basically, these have to be long enough to go through. I can put a nut on the back side. Even those aren't long enough, so there we go. Yep, so we got 16. Okay, now, yep, those will work. So we got our bolts. Stick that guy up on, bolt through, nut back side of that. Okay. Another bolt through, and nuts on the back side of that. Now, to get this guy off, make our life a little easier, we're just going to use an impact gun. And I'll have to hold it. There it is. All right. So now, get bolts out of our puller. Put set that guy in there. Now, since regular hammers are no fun, we're going to use the assault hammer to get it out. So, I'll move you guys to the other side and you can see what's going on. And I'm also going to position another camera over there to catch it. All right. we go. All right. So now, get that pinion gear out. Sorry for the delay. All right. Use an air hammer here and hit right in the center pinion gear. Boy. Yeah. She's stuck on there pretty good, guys. So, hopefully, ooh, yeah, it's stuck on there pretty good. Go ahead and see if we can. All right. There we go. Get that pinion seal out. That bearing, okay. We got a shim. It goes right there. Go ahead and get that shim out. All right. Yeah. Stuck in there pretty good. So, shim goes like that. Let's see if we can get a good whack here. Get it out. Normally they are not this tight. She's on there, fellas. All right, so we're gonna keep beating on this thing until we get it out. I got some parts showing up, guys. So you just stay tuned in here and we'll get this taken care of. Hey, how's it going? Oh, really? Sounds good, man. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you. All right, guys, we're back. Okay, I'm about done with the hat. Whew. Well, that's not what I wanted to happen, but it did. So here we are. All right, that was good. Maybe some of y'all thought that was funny, I didn't. All right, so, one pinion gear. And that's why we mark everything. That way, if things fly everywhere, we know where they go. All right, I found the problem, guys. So, I know the quality's not the best, but if you can look back in there and see those little spots on this race right here, that is why the rear end is making noise. So anyway, guys, if you want to see the rest of this rebuild, stay tuned on the channel, and I'll put a longer video up. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.